start over.
All right, Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying that it is too late to start over and start from scratch. By the next guest, does he agree with that? With us now, Blue Dog Democrat Jason Altmire of Pennsylvania. Congressman, pretty much every Democrat in that room today saying we're not starting over. That's a no-go situation.
Well, the bill, as has been presented, and you and I have talked about this many times, does nothing, very little, to reduce the cost of health care. The reason this is called health care reform is because we want to change the delivery system, we being people who are truly interested in delivery system reform. The bills that have been put forward really don't do that. There are good aspects of them, there are bad aspects, but in the end, we have to find a way to lower the cost for families and for businesses and for the government. We're never going to get our long-term deficit in order until we reduce the growth exponentially of our health care system. And unfortunately, these bills don't do that. If I raise your taxes to pay for my health care, that might seem like a good deal for me, but that does nothing for the overall health care system. And unfortunately, there's a big difference between lowering the overall cost of health care and just transferring the burden to somebody else.
You see, Congressman, that's why you don't get invited to these things, because you keep talking like that.
But I think you're right.
But in all seriousness, sir, one of your Blue Dog comrades, Representative Jim Cooper, who was a participant today, was at the meeting today, was saying that, essentially bemoaning Republicans aren't doing enough to, kumbaya on this and to get along and to try to come up with something of their own. Yet he was quoted as saying last year, I think in the summer, the White House released a statement praising this bipartisan leadership. In the House of Representatives, meanwhile, this is quoting him, we are explicitly told not to work with Republicans. Was that true?
Well, nobody ever told me not to work with Republicans, and of course I voted against the bill. I think it's a good thing to incorporate all ideas. I do think by and large everybody that's involved in this debate is in it for the right reason, to find a solution, and I'm hoping that that is going to be bipartisan. But again, the missing component all along has been cost containment, and we have to find a way to bring down the cost.
All right, but I don't think on those very big issues, Congressman, they're really changing anything. So the other issue that's been bandied about today, getting a lot of press today, is that maybe the new strategy will be introducing it in chunks, in smaller, more acceptable morsels, much like the $15 billion jobs initiative was handled. That Republicans did sign on to, 13 of them in total in the Senate, and that is something that Democrats will no doubt try to do with health care. Is that true?
Well, I have not heard that plan other than reading the articles that you quoted from the Wall Street Journal and others. Here again, though, whether you do it as a large package or as a small package, you still have to address all sides of the health care system. You can't do one without the other. We have to do the insurance reforms that are going to prevent the egregious practices like pre-existing conditions and dropping you when you get sick. We should cover more people. Certainly that has to be part of the goal, because expanding the risk pool is how you balance out the insurance reforms. But again, the missing piece is cost containment. So whether it's a large or small package, you still have to address that missing piece. And I didn't see anything that indicates we're willing to do that.
So real quickly, Congress, it sounds that Nancy Pelosi was pointing fingers at Republicans, and they're really the obstacle to getting this thing passed. She has trouble within her own party with guys like you.
There's no question that there's going to be finger pointing all around. There's enough blame to be had in the way this has been handled, but that we are where we are. We're at this point in time, and if we want to move forward, we have to do it together, and we have to address cost containment.
Okay. Congressman, thank you. Very good seeing you.
Thanks, Neil.